You got his permission. He said you got his permission.
I'm all right.
Yeah, you're good to
All right,
go.
gotta see my baby. When's the girl play Friday?
Played last night, championship, but
Won last night.
then I lost last night against York.
What's the score? I didn't see the score. I watched the other one.
36-41, I think. It was close.
Now, who will you get?
We're gonna play Liberty Creek in the first round of the regionals. That should be easy.
Yeah, good shape, man. Who's that put you in the bracket with the next game? Westmoreland?
Yeah.
They're beatable too right now. Ain't
They're top of 6-2A.
Yeah.
They're pretty good.
Real low scoring.
Yeah, but we only scored 36.
No,
Yeah, but still.
I think it cuts off at me.
Sir.
Yeah, no.
Survival kit.
Yeah. They'll keep you alive, won't they? Put you in a.
Unless you're severe diabetic.
Yeah.
Might do something else.
Okay, it's 5 o'clock. We're going to call this meeting to order. I'd like to welcome all of our visitors here tonight. First item on the agenda is, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Glover. He's going to read the prayer list and lead us in prayer.
All right, our prayer list this week is Miss Tammy Givens and family. Her father's passed away. Gail Burns, Christy Glover's dad, my father-in-law, Mr. Larry Bartlett, had triple bypass surgery, so keep him in your prayers. He's doing well. Jennifer Gravely and family, her mother has passed away. Arnold Rich, Debbie Rich's husband. Belinda Angel, Jude McCaleb, Scotty Lewis's mother, Diana Shoulders, Courtney Taylor, and Miss Diane Bennett's friend with cancer. Does anyone else need to add anything?
Yes, sir. If we could, would you add, please, Mr. Carl Brown, that was a former assistant chief at Carthage
Absolutely,
in the hospital, had some heart surgery and all that stuff, so I'd appreciate that.
absolutely. Okay. Hannah? Okay. Anybody else? All right, if we'll bow our heads. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for allowing us to gather today, dear Father, and be here for you, dear Father. Be with us as we make the best decisions for our county, dear Father, and our children, dear Father. Be with these that we've spoken about and their families, and keep them secure and safe, dear Father, and that you may heal them, dear Father. Most importantly, dear Father, we want to thank you for allowing your Son to die on the cross for all of our sins. In your heavenly name, amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Again, I want to welcome everyone. Do we have anybody that signed in for public comment tonight? Does anything over, Mr. Glover, where anybody signed in?
No, sir.
Okay, all right. Okay, let's go on to our next item, which is the consent items. I hope you've had a chance to look over last month's board meetings. We got a request for Smith County High School, Gornsville High School, request to bid on Z-Space learning stations and software license. Do I have a motion to approve those?
I make a motion to approve the consent item.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Second. Now, any discussion? Anything anybody want to pull out and talk about? If not, let's have a roll call. Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Apple?
Yes.
Mr. McCaleb? Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Mr. Manning?
Yes.
Mr. Glover?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Let's see here. Okay, next item, are y'all, everybody's logged down and everything? Okay, good. Superintendent's actions, Mr. Smith, I believe you had some stuff that we have, that's went on and you would like to talk about a little bit about our buildings that
Yeah,
we
I
are.
wanted to invite y'all, I'd love for you to come. I think, Tommy, I'd seen you a while ago, if you find time and would like to look at the buildings. I think you'd be pretty impressed. They're gonna be really nice. I get excited talking about them. The elementary, cafeteria is finished. It looks fantastic. You need to tour it if you get an opportunity. Again, I don't think we understand how lucky we are that all this is gonna be done for nothing for the county. These buildings are gonna change a lot of lives. It's also gonna change our funding in a good way, because it's gonna allow us to be a lot more flexible and get more vocational courses in, which will help our funding tremendously. You know, again, the high school building's over here. We hate that it was over here. It was the only option viable that we had on here, other than to make a smaller gym. I didn't think that was fair to do that, to be equal. We tried to put it in different places, and it was gonna take longer to get the permits, and the grant was gonna run out, but we're gonna be very, very fortunate to have 7 regulation gyms in a 5-mile radius, so it's also gonna help us on the federal PE law, so it's just win-win all the way around. And with the prices going up like they had, probably couldn't build one building for what we're building this whole package for. And I might add too, the cafeteria was done with grant money, and but it's state of the art, it's neat, you go see it, get you. But I'd love for anybody to tour that, and before the board retreat next Wednesday, if there's somewhere, I know Mr. Jones, you've asked me about some parking and stuff out there. I know, Mr. Glover's asked me some stuff. Marty's asked me some stuff out there at New Middleton. We need to meet and try to get that on. I've got it on the agenda for y'all to discuss. But if there's anything you'd like to put on that retreat, let Tricia or Tracy or myself know, and we'll try to get the research done, okay? But we'd love for you to come up and tour that one day if anybody had an opportunity for lunch or something. Thank you, Mr. Shoulders.
Yes, sir. Okay, on new business, we got policy 2.400. Has everyone had a chance to look at that? If I do I have a motion to approve it?
Motion to approve.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Next thing on the agenda is a request to purchase some vehicles. Now, I'm gonna, if he will, I'm gonna ask Mr. Towns to explain what we're doing here.
As you know, we've received, I think it's about $3.1 million from the state of Tennessee with that Innovative School Model Grant. And in that grant, that's part of, we used part of it to purchase a Save-A-Lot building. We're gonna use part of those funds to renovate it. We've hired a couple CTE coaches. We've done a lot of different things, with that grant money. These vehicles, what these will be for, there'll be one at Smith County High School, one at Gordonsville High School, and they'll be used to transport students to career and technical student organization events. After school, during school, Saturdays. Now, the way the state law is, you can't transport students in a vehicle that holds more than 8, including the driver. So most of your smaller vans, they changed that law, I don't know, probably 10 or 15 years ago, when there was some bus crashes and different things. These are being used to take small groups. And we do that pretty regularly, and it's too few a number of students to get a bus and hire a driver. And most of the time now, when we're doing this, our teachers are taking their own personal vehicles. We're signing, having those students and their parents sign release forms so that the students can drive or ride with the teachers and they're having to use their own personal vehicles, to do that. Of course, those teachers that lead those groups, they don't mind doing it. I've done it years ago when I was teaching. But this grant money is, it's probably once in a lifetime kind of money that's going to be coming, from the state for these purposes, which is the reason that I wanted to look at buying new vehicles, because they should last, for a long time. I don't see us getting another round of funds like this again. I checked around, and a few months ago, the board approved a request to bid some vans for this, which is what I was looking at originally. And then checked with the auditor, and the state of Tennessee has contracts on every different vehicle you can imagine. So I just found state contracted price for the dealership. Of course, they've got approved dealers. These particular ones are out of Wilson County Motors next door, and they've got them sitting on the lot. And the price is the state contracted price. So I checked with the auditor. That's fine. We don't have to have any bids if we buy on the state contracted price. But that's what the vehicles will be used for. Primarily, they'll be. My plan is for them to be at the high schools. I've also got some grant funds for fuel and different things till that grant runs out. And again, the teachers that would be driving, I've already talked to Ms. Diane, they won't need to be CDL holders, but anybody that drives vehicles with kids, we make them go get that passenger endorsement. It's not a whole lot to get that, and the teacher wants to, take students, I think that's the least that, they wouldn't mind doing that, or get that endorsement, so that they're, have that when they're transported. But, that happens, matter of fact, I've got, some of these CTSO competitions that'll be coming up in March. They've got a small group that are going. And I've got a teacher that's gonna be taking a welding student to Chattanooga to compete in state contests. Well, it's not, I hate to ask that teacher to drive their personal vehicle and, put one student on a bus and hire a bus driver to pay the mileage. That's not really feasible either. So in that case, this vehicle will be perfect, for something like that. And it'll have capability of getting.
Then before we get asked, those would have to be used for vocational, they couldn't be used for athletics or cheerleading.
They're the Board of Education vehicles. You can use them for whatever y'all need. But that my intent would be for CTE purposes. And I think they'll stay pretty big.
I got a question. I know a couple of years ago, we did the STEM bus, and we did a wrap for those. Is that something we could do for these, put a wrap on them for each school? And do we have the money in that grant for that?
To do what?
Put a wrap on them like we did the STEM
I
bus?
think if you wanted to do it.
I think that'd be a good advertisement for our school or the CTE program.
One said,
Well, if you guys remember, and I don't know if we use it as much as we normally, there's actually a policy on there that we're supposed to mark our vehicles. They're supposed to be marked, Marshall School, Smith County High School, Board of Education. And that's what I was gonna ask. We need to mark these vehicles some way.
There have been, of course, every county, every school district in the state has to buy STEM buses, based on how many schools that they have. There have been several school districts that have purchased vehicles for this purpose. And a lot of them, I haven't seen any wrap, but I have seen, where they've got those decals on the side of them.
Yeah.
They may say Smith County School, CTE program, something of that nature.
That's what I'm saying.
And that may be something someone might, a bank or somebody may want to sponsor too, so, but that'd be something good to recognize our school system, on these trips. And, when we roll in, they know Smith County or they know Gornsville's rolling in.
right now, they're sharp, they look like TBI rolling in, the Suburban's on it flat.
Then we better mark them. Mr. Towns, can I ask a question, please?
That's a great
I mean,
price on
it's,
Bill Senate.
It's a wonderful opportunity, and it's grant funded, so it's not gonna cost the citizens a penny. The only thing I would say, just for my part, is that I would appreciate, I think it would be significant if the people that want to drive them would go ahead and get that endorsement.
Probably just ask your
A lot of them
vocational
say
teachers.
CTE teachers that want to use it, they'll get that.
Since it's not that big a deal, I just think it would be significant for them to go ahead and get that training.
Any more questions for Ms. Towns? I want to thank you, Mr. Town, for putting in the time to do this. This is a great opportunity for the schools. They're brand-new vehicles. They've come through a state bid. We didn't go out and get our buddy to bid on them. They were all bought off state bid through Wilson County Motors. Again, it was the money that grants that you wrote to get these with, that's not costing the taxpayers anything. It's grant money, which a lot of people don't understand that a lot of these county offices could be doing the same thing and save our taxpayers a whole lot of money, because there's grants out there for everything. And I thank you 100% for doing this and not having to cause the taxpayers to be out anything. Saying that, do I have a motion?
Yes, sir.
Do I have a second? Any more discussion about it? If not, let's have a roll call. Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Apple?
Yes.
Mr. McCaleb?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Mr. Manning?
Yes.
Mr. Glover?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Bid approval for erection of metal. That is having to do with, for these buildings, am I correct? You all know what the price is here. They put it out to bids, took the lowest bid. Someone want to make a motion on this? No. Second?
Second.
Any more discussion on that one?
Is this just for the Gornsville or is this for both schools?
It's for both, see,
Both.
back there on the,
It's,
Okay.
on the
Yeah.
bid sheet.
Okay.
Lot of difference in the bids, it's,
this is money being spent, so we'll do another roll call. Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Apple?
Yes.
Mr. McCaleb?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Mr. Manning?
Yes.
Mr. Glover?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Approval for state master contract for internal connections. Do I have a motion on that one? Second?
I second.
Okay. Discussion. Thing you want to add to that, about that? Okay. Again, let's do a roll call. Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Apple?
Yes.
Mr. McCaleb?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Mr. Manning?
Yes.
Mr. Glover?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Approval for internet equipment and installation. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
It's good discussion. If not, roll call. Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Apple?
Yes.
Mr. McCaleb?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Mr. Manning?
Yes.
Mr. Glover?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Bid approval for the mechanical HVAC for Gornsville High School's Wellness Center. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Discussions?
And this one's just for the Gornsville school. It's not for the middle school.
why did they not, Ben, why did they not bid a vote, is it waiting?
Yeah,
Time frame.
we had to move the building from the original site at Smith County High School back here. We had to redo a set of plans, so we're waiting on our architect to get our full set of plans to be able to put in the electrical and mechanical. The reason we were able to do some of the other stuff is because it's not specific, not hardly as specific as electrical, mechanical things.
But we're not expecting a big pay difference
No.
between both. Okay.
It would have been, if we could have got it where we wanted it originally there, it'd have been very simple, been the
Yeah.
thing about it.
Okay.
I would not expect that price to change very much when we bid. we're expecting our finalized approved plans for the Smith County Middle School building to be any day now.
Any more discussion? If not, Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Apple?
Yes.
Mr. McCaleb?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Mr. Manning?
Yes.
Mr. Glover?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
Self, yes. Next item is bid approval for electrical for the Gornsville High School Wellness Center. A motion?
So moved.
Second. Discussions? If not, this is a roll call. Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Apple?
Yes.
Mr. McCaleb?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Mr. Manning?
Yes.
Mr. Glover?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Next thing is discussion. It's communication and safety integration. So this,
Turn it over. I think most of y'all let them introduce yourself, but Mr. McDonough had asked to talk to y'all about
Okay.
a new system that the state's talking to him about, I think, but I'll let him talk to you about it.
okay, yes, sir, you got the floor.
Thank you, Board. My name is Mike Dunn, and Chairman, thank you for recognizing me for the discussion block. I'll try to make this brief. I represent USA Connect LLC as a spokesperson, and give you a short history real quick, behind the scenes matter on this. We approached Tennessee legislature last year with this new concept, this new technology, and they thought it was such a good thing. Senator Cody and Representative Lynn came up with legislation, and that would pay, the state through a safety grant would pay for this technology for every single teacher, public and private, church-related schools to have in the state of Tennessee. Governor's office examined it before legislative session began. It was heard that he was in favor of it. The session began second week of January. Senator Pody and Representative Lynn introduced the legislation, and it had no opposition, overwhelming support. And absolutely, all the Tennessee legislature was in favor, which is incredible. Okay? So they just went to the governor and they said, why are we wasting time with lengthy legislation? Why don't we just get this approved? The governor said, I agree. So 2 weeks ago, he and his office, the Tennessee General Assembly, and the Department of Education for the state of Tennessee administratively approved what I'm fixing to explain to you, to be paid for under the safety grant for the state of Tennessee for every single teacher in this state. So, USA Connect, what we're gonna offer is we show up on site because we understand that safety and security has everything to do with proper communication and private communication. So what we do, we offer a independent Wi-Fi complete upgrade package to where the Wi-Fi at every single facility is completely independent, encrypted, and so powerful that the school itself can offer guest links to the neighborhood to sell as fundraisers year-round. And the guest links, encrypted, cannot budge into the school's Wi-Fi, and the school's Wi-Fi cannot merge into the guest links. They're completely autonomous. And so every school across the state of Tennessee has Wi-Fi issues and struggles. But what we're offering is satellite-backed internet technology where it can never go out of range or lose signal, no matter where you're at on the campus, playground, hallway, schoolroom, gymnasium, wherever. It's going to be strong enough that the neighborhood can benefit from it if the school wants them to. It'll be up to the school, we suppose, what they can offer those guest links for. Some people are just going to want to support the schools just because. So, in addition to that, we've come up with the idea of an emergency smart device. This is new patented technology. And this emergency smart device can be worn on a lanyard, can be worn clipped on clothing, can be worn on a belt. The emergency smart device weighs 4 ounces, which is 1/3 the weight of your iPhone or cell phone, smartphone. And it's the size of a business card. It can be used daily because of its communication feature. It has push-to-talk feature, and it's encrypted internet communication. It cannot be eavesdropped on from the parking lot like the school's current communication can. 800 megahertz radios, police, fire, school departments use is public communication. A lot of people have scanners, a lot of pedophiles have scanners, a lot of disgruntled parents have scanners. We've got lawsuits nationwide where privacy is an issue for schools because a lot of HIPAA violations, little Johnny's come out of the nurse's office, he's gonna have to go home, he's got the flu. Or Sister Johnson's class is fixing to go out to the playground, and we've got dude out in the parking lot, ready to watch. That's not private communications, very public. A lot of liabilities there. What exists right now nationwide. Big problem. This emergency smart device, push-to-talk communication, a teacher or a principal, anybody on the network can talk to everyone in the network, or can look at the back of the device and single out which individuals they want to talk to individually. There's one teacher, two teachers, three teachers, coaches. It's all private internet communication, IP streaming, right? Backed up by satellite. So the teacher could wear the device on the playground, in the classroom, in the gym, on a school bus, on a field trip, Indianapolis for an FFA convention, never goes out of range. Everybody's PA system struggles. When we're on the playground, you think it's Charlie Brown's teacher. You can't hear what's going on. Or you're in a gym, the sound's not that great. Every school's different. This will never go out of range. Okay? It's got GPS capability. Also, with the device, we offer some alerts. And these alerts are key. These alerts are absolutely amazing. They've never been done before. And this is what the General Assembly and the Governor's Office found out. We've got 3 alert buttons on the side of the device. The first alert is in a sense or a situation of a disgruntled student or a situation of disorderly conduct in the classroom. What if the teacher's fixing to be assaulted? Or there's a fight in the classroom? Or a student's acting disorderly in the class? Whatever. All the teacher has to do is initiate an alert. And it's an instant live stream, live feed to the SRO and to the principal. And they can look at this alert that's on their phone and watch what's going on and listen in real time as though they're looking at it themselves in the room. This device also records sound and video internally. And that data is owned by the school district. It stays encrypted at the school. Okay? Not public, it's private. But that link going out to the SRO and the principal, or whoever the school wants it to go to on the network, they can view exactly what's going on. The teacher's in trouble, she doesn't have time to reach for the radio and explain what's going on. And then her hands are free to defend herself, separate students, whatever comes up. Okay? The next alert is a medical alert. Little Johnny has a seizure, or somebody falls and busts their head. Heart stopped, athlete on the track, collapsed. We don't know what's going on. Instant live stream video to the principal, SRO, school nurse, and EMS, if you want it to, directly. If not, the school nurse can view on her cell phone, his or her cell phone, laptop, screen in the office, wherever you want it to go to. It's a live feed, and they can monitor exactly what's going on in real-time intelligence. There's no gap. Okay? You can watch exactly what's going on and plan accordingly. He's having a seizure again, go ahead and call the ambulance. Tell him bust his head, collapse, not breathing. All things are on the table. They can know how to exact accordingly on the spot. Okay? The third alert is something we never want to happen, but just in case. It's there. It's the ultimate SOS. In the event of an intruder on the campus bent on harming students or teachers or personnel. You get that alert. Not only does the principal and the school nurse and the SRO get a live feed, but the live feed goes straight to 911 dispatch, or straight to Sheriff Hopper, or straight to the chief of Carthage, or straight to the chief of South Carthage. or straight to the chief of Gordonsville, whoever you want it to go to. They get an instant alert, live feed on their phone, or their laptop, or their screen in their office, wherever they want it to go to. And for the first time in history, folks, first responders can look at what's going on in real time and respond not only quicker, but accurately. We'll know how to respond in real time, what's going on, where's it going on, and these devices, because of their GPS capability, when we set the device up and customize it for the facility, we do a digital map. So when the alert goes off, Mrs. Johnson's class, library, and the interior of the library shows up, plus the real time on the screen. So the officers have their recon right there in front of them. Plus they've got a map of the whole school to go along with it in real time. They know what's going on. If there's multiple killers, we used to call them active shooter alerts in my 34 years of law enforcement. But in Europe, they're using machetes, and pipe bombs, and whatever, so we call them active killers now. If an active kill alert goes on in multiple classrooms, the screen can split, and you can watch multiple live feeds at the same time, and find out exactly what's going on and where. Wouldn't those officers in Uvalde, Texas, benefited from this when they showed up and scratched their heads for 45 minutes in the parking lot? Well, the killer went back and forth, classroom to classroom to classroom, executing, making sure they were dead, making sure children were dead. This device, we're not advertising this because we know what we have is good, because the General Assembly wants it, the governor wants it, Department of Education wants it, and Motorola has decided to copy our plans, and put it on their website already. So, we don't have what I'm fixing to say in print yet. But these devices, we've uploaded decibel alerts. And the decibel alerts will automatically alert the SRO and the principal if there's high intensity, sudden screaming. In the case of a teacher being incapacitated, SRO gets the alert, screaming. And he looks, oh, it's okay, it's a birthday party. Disregard. Oh, there's a guy with a shotgun. That's different. That can be disabled ahead of time if you're nervous before a ball game, in the gym, whatever. But it's there. It's there. The second decibel alert we're uploading into the device for gunfire. Algorithms, mathematical decibel alerts, if it registers gunfire, automatic alert, whether the teacher is able to push the button or not. SRO, principal, 911 technology, get it instantly. Real-time live feed. When Metro Police had loved to use that a month ago when they got the active shooter call at Opera Hills Mall, it was a false alarm. It's you in real time. Well, kids are at their desks, teachers at their desks. They look good. We'll investigate, make sure. You're responding accordingly, accurately. And if things are happening bad, you know, and it's documented. Plus, in the simplest alert, where somebody's fighting or assaulting the teacher, this is the teacher's new best friend. Folks, this actually happened. My son would never do that. Property data belongs to the school, and it's up to them what to do with it. Okay? Also, our company offers a new concept of technology that's never been used anywhere that we know of. The most confusing part of the school day, end of the day. Teachers are tired. Students are tired. They want to get out of there. Everybody's tired. SRO wants to get done. Principal wants to get done. Everybody wants to go home. Parents pull up for the car riders. It's a log jam. It's usually different order. Sometimes the same heads are up in the front every day, but it's a different order every day. And 5 or 6 people have to hang out the front door. I think that's Johnny's mama. Okay, send Johnny up. I think that's Betty's sister. Okay, send Betty up. It's a different dance every day. It's time consuming, takes a long time. So, we come up with a program called Smart Pickup. We have an app used on a tablet. It can be held by the principal or the SRO, by anybody at the end of the day. And because of QR codes, like the car wash uses, when you pull up the car wash, you prepaid, put that in the car window. You've got 4 cars in the family, we give you 4 QR codes. When you pull onto the property of the school, little Johnny's picture shows up. Johnny, your parents are here, you're first, line up right here. And if there's any question, you don't recognize the vehicle, you push on Johnny's face, and it shows pictures of the people that are registered allowed to pick him up. And their vehicles. Right there. And as soon as Johnny is escorted out the door, gets in the car, swipe him off, it's a digital record every day. Who picked him up? When Johnny got picked up. Digitally recorded. And at the bottom of the app, of the screen, it shows 5 or 6 faces left over. They haven't got picked up. Oh wait, these 3 were absent today and these 2 are staying after school. So it's a digital recording every day, avoiding liabilities every day. Personal story. Family told me this 2 days ago. Their son went to ball practice behind this building. Their other son got a car wreck. One parent is at a different practice for another child. So the parent that was on the way to pick up one child had to go to the car wreck with the other one because he was fairly injured. The child here never got word and sat out there, everybody left. And it was 45 minutes later, they finally figured out, oh wait, he still needs a ride. That child was sitting out there for 45 minutes. By himself, unattended. And it's a child. How would that look? On the news if something happened with child X because somebody did something. But with the safe pickup, what the coaches had at the end of the day? Digital record, folks. Liability proof, right there. We picked them up and went. But that's great to avoid the log jam every day in the school year, in the school days. So, all that stuff together, we've got fundraisers for schools, giving you the best in Wi-Fi, the best in private communication, getting rid of public eavesdropping, what's going on in schools every day. Plus, the emergency smart device that weighs a third of a cell phone. It can be used every day for communication. And if any level of alert occurs, this is your best friend. This is a definite life link. It's a smart link. Link everybody together. One thing I failed to mention, if that ultimate SOS has to be triggered, and that horrible thing we see on the news every night, nationwide, but if it has to be triggered, not only does the live stream alert go straight to the principal, the nurse, and the SRO and 911, but every single teacher in this network that's wearing this device can look at the back of the screen and see the same alert. They know exactly what's going on in the school and where, and plan accordingly what to do. The shooter's in the gym right now. That's the other side of the school. When you protect the President of the United States or dignitaries, something bad goes on, we don't hide him under a desk. We separate him from the threat. Why are our children's lives worth any less? Every single incident is different. It might be that the threat is outside the facility and a lockdown is appropriate. So, we came up with another idea. It's called a threat detector. And we recommend hanging a threat detector camera inside of any entryway at the school. This threat detector camera, we upload facial recognition technology and weapon recognition technology. We can upload the sex offender registry. We can upload a fugitives list. We can upload people that have been blacklisted from being on the property. This homeless guy keeps busting into cars in the parking lot. Or this stalker keeps trying to peek into it. Whatever the situation, we could put his or her information in this camera. And these 96% accurate facial recognition cameras, and the cameras we offer can zoom in 4 football fields in length with clarity. Sends an instant alert to the SRO. 96% accurate. It's up to the SRO to validate. That's fair. That's fair. Before we let Duke in the door, we need to find out who he really is, because it set off an alert. He could be fugitive When the police love to know that. Live stream alerts, can't beat them. So for the first time in history, literally, first time in history, groundbreaking, Tennessee General Assembly was in favor, they bypassed legislation, governor's office. Governor bypassed, waiting on the legislation, went ahead and administratively approved it, because they want this done quick. Why should we deny it? There's nobody in opposition to it, we're all in favor, and we're gonna pay for it. So the state is gonna pay for this for any school district that wants it. On their bill. Really our bill, but we want our kids protected. So for the first time in history, we can protect our kids' lives better than ever. We can protect our teachers' lives better than ever. And we can protect our first responders' lives better than ever. Because the fog of war has been lifted. It's gone. If they got live intel, no more ambushes, they know exactly where to go, suspect description, weapon description, how many are laying down injured, whatever. Real-time live feed, GPS, never goes out of range, backed up by satellite. Any questions? Sir?
I only have 932 questions, and I'll try to be brief. The alerts, 3 different ones. How do they differentiate between those? Does it receive a different tone? Is there some,
We will provide all the training necessary to make sure everybody is ultimately familiar with the device. It's just different locations on the device.
so they'll actually then, once they view that, they'll know which one has been,
They'll be color-coded and have different initials on the buttons themselves. And we installed a 2-button verification. We don't want any accidental alerts. I leaned over and hit the table. Well, 2-button verification, if any of you all have an iPhone, it takes 2 buttons to turn off the iPhone. Well, we decided to save some accidental alerts going off. Why not put 2-button verification on an alert? So push to talk. Designed, majority of people are right-handed and use their thumb on the radio. You have a radio, same with the device. Push to talk, push to thumb. But if you're gonna set off an alert, 2 fingers. Verification. And it's not hard, the buttons aren't hard, they're easily placed. Easily placed. And it's a lot better than pushing a button 8 times for a blind alert. You don't know if you got a broken leg. Or got a shot. Or the building's on fire. You know, this is live stream feed, real-time intel, seconds, save lives.
And
next question. Now, live stream feed, and that's of the event in that area.
Correct.
So I heard you mention facial recognition on entrance and all that. Does it move through the building? Like, for example, and I despise bringing these things up, but the Covenant School
Yes, sir.
incident where they move throughout the building, does it track the individual through the building to help you know the movement, or do the cameras or anything do something like that?
It certainly can. It will pick up if you want it on interior cameras as well. That can be easily diagnosed and performed.
Pre-existing
Yes, sir.
Cameras?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can upload this technology inside cameras as well. We can also put it on the emergency smart device itself, if you want to.
Well, I mean, the reason I asked that question is you and I both know, and some others sitting around this table, I mean, we can never, and I hate to say that, but I suppose maybe God has not given us the intelligence to avoid these circumstances. So we're restricted to eliminating the amount of time, you know, the smaller amount of time it take place, the less chance of something happening. So that's the reason I asked, like, can we integrate cameras? Can we watch movement through a building? If we know they're going down hall L, can we evacuate on K over here? That's where I was coming from.
Absolutely, yes, sir.
I got a question, if it's okay. You talked about it being paid for by the state,
Yes, sir.
correct? What all does that include? Does that include the internet? Does that include, the extra cameras put in, the tablets? What does that include?
According to Bennett Wilson, who is the person that sits and examines the grants as they come in through EPA at the Department of Education. Because it has to do with communication or safety,
So if you're saying that, if I'm hearing you right, and Mike, we've known each other a long time, you know I'm kind of slow. So if I'm hearing you right, you're saying that it would pay for the internet. So the cost that we're spending on the internet could be eliminated because it's paying for that?
Correct. And that's
Yes, it is.
and it's giving you a fundraising ability for each of your schools if they want to sell guest links to this new powerful internet that's backed up by satellite to the neighbors.
Another,
It's up to the school what you want to do. But it's fundraising while you sleep. You don't have to make cookies anymore.
one
I mean,
more question.
we all want the best, obviously. I mean, there are many of us in this room, yourself included, that have been in this circumstance, and it's indescribable. And anything that we can do to ever prevent that, someone getting hurt or even just scarred emotionally from the trauma that follows that, or witnessing it, I don't ever want our children or our employees to have to experience that. You and I both know that's terrible, and some others in this room.
Absolutely. And what this helps to do, it helps to absolve the school district, or the teachers of the slightest liability. And private communication is going to be used every day, all day long. Starting there. Going to the smallest alerts of a disturbance in the classroom, or parents want to sue the school because their student didn't do this, but they did. Or the smallest medical alert to the major medical alert, where someone can sue the school for not acting properly, fast enough in first responder mode. Well, now it's documented. And then the ultimate SOS alarm, where we want the good guys to respond accurately as fast as possible to take out the threat. It's never been this good, ever.
I've got one more question. Don't want to interrupt you, but how are these worn? Are they just on a lanyard? Because they've got cameras, they're going to be flopping around, flipping around, and
This is a prototype. Okay? This is my cell phone. Okay? This can be worn on a lanyard. It's got a body clip on there right now.
can we see that?
Clip on the clothing.
Can we see that?
Or it can be, we sell a separate clip that we clip on the belt. But this is not programmed because it has to be customized to a location. Digital map, everything like that. But, this is 4 ounces. And the actual ones we have manufactured will have notches at the top for lanyards to clip on. And it's not a pivotal lanyard in the top where it would swivel. It's one on each corner, so it stays the same direction the whole time.
How many different companies will be offering these services?
So far, it's just us. We're a Tennessee company, but Motorola, after our press release at the legislature, decided to start advertising such technology on their body cams, their police body cams. They advertised and they added real-time live feed, and now they're advertising the body cams for teachers. But they don't do what ours does. And theirs records, and then if you push a button, it sends the live stream, but it has to couple up with their new Motorola 800 megahertz radio that also does that. They don't want to lose the radio.
When are we looking for this to go into place? I mean, when would our teachers be trained to wear these things?
We can take an order today. But according to Bennett Wilson and E-Plan, there's 3 different ways a school district can purchase these. And we have to customize how many of these do you need for a facility? What strength of nodes do we need for the facility for the Wi-Fi? What different camera angles do we need to place, the threat detectors? All those have to be customized per facility. But once that's done, according to Bennett Wilson, school districts can purchase this outright. School district purchases outright and then apply for reimbursement, which is a 2-week turnaround financially. Or school districts can apply for the safety grant and wait for those funds to come in to purchase this system. And according to Bennett Wilson, they traditionally don't approve
What is the cost for this system outright?
Everything is different because it depends on your facility, okay? So it would have to be customized for your facility. I can tell you that device is half the price of an iPhone. The state's gonna pay for it.
Mike, can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
Now, several of our rural schools, use voice over internet protocol, with a Verizon booster or whatever, because they're dead, that's the only way they've got. Will this technology support that, so that they continue to have cell phone service there at those locations?
And not only that, but this emergency smart device, it also can go on a local carrier, Verizon, AT&T, whatever, and have 3 or 5G backup, but it's also backed up by satellite. So, and the satellite has a nationwide footprint already. So that means anywhere in the state of Tennessee, no matter how many hills we have, or no matter how bad our service is, this will work.
Is the satellite similar to something like Starlink?
Yes, it is. Exactly right.
How many, have you got, your company got these in school systems already?
It's brand new.
Now, I'm sitting here and I'm hearing what you're saying, and I tell you the truth, it sounds really great. But I'd like to see,
How many megabits per second? I'm sorry? How many megabits per second is the wire?
I couldn't tell you that directly, I'm the spokesman, but I can, well, maybe. If you want to,
Is it Starlink satellite that's connecting to, or is it something different?
yes, it is.
It is, so you're between 360, 500 megabits per second.
I'll trust you on that.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
make a motion we accept this, is that what we're into tonight?
this is just
Just
discussion.
discussion, we're not doing anything
Oh, I
tonight.
thought he was asking.
No, we're just in discussion, talking about it. We can put it on the agenda next month if that's what we wanna do.
Make a motion to put it on the next agenda for next month.
I second that.
Any more discussion?
Yeah, I think we need to discuss it at the retreat.
Well, that's what I'm
We can
saying,
repeat it.
we can do all,
then
we
put
can
it-
add
yes.
that as discussion also.
I'd suggest you put it on a retreat before you bring it back.
Right.
So, me-
Right, okay, we'll put it on the retreat for discussion, which is next month, and then we'll see about putting it on the agenda to discuss further, so. Okay, we got a motion and a second. Anybody else got any other discussion? If not, all in favor? Opposed?
Abstain.
Abstain, okay.
May I add something I forgot to say?
Yes, sir.
It's still in discussion, I apologize. One thing I wanted to add, we've noticed a lot of lawsuits nationwide because of teachers or others using cell phones inside schools because they don't want to walk over to the hard line that's still there, or sometimes email is the preferred communication between teachers and principals. Or they couldn't hear on the PA system because they were outside. So teachers, and understandably so, because it's so convenient for us now, are texting each other or sending pictures of students to each other, and that material leaves the school every day. And you're violating the HIPAA, you're violating the privacy of the children, and we all do it without even thinking of it. It's just modern communication that way. But these will be y'all's property. And comes with a 72-hour battery. So you can leave it at the school and charge overnight if you want to. But even if you forget to charge, it's still good the next day and the next. And that's a low ball estimate. We know it goes longer, but we're standing by 72 hours. And the information, it also has text capability, I forgot to mention. You want to text to another teacher, you text them out here. And that's private communication that stays in the school.
The communication from, say, teacher to teacher or teacher to principal, the communicate, is that recorded? Is that saved? That,
It is not recorded.
okay,
The text material will be,
okay.
but the audible is not. Also, if you're on earbuds, so if you don't want to disrupt the class, it's no longer a handheld radio, in the middle of the class. Teacher can put one earbud in if they want to. not a student or something embarrassing or whatever. It could be private. So now, any potential predators that are outside listening, they can't listen anymore. And in the event of someone walking up from outside, instant alert. And in the event, somehow they do get inside, or an attack outside, here's your alert right here. And live feed to the right people in the right time. Everybody's on the same feed. All the teachers at the same time. Can't be replaced. It's the best around right now. And it's put into practice by decades of law enforcement practice and responding to these things, and opinions from school teachers everywhere, and legislators put their 2 cents in. And I was proud to be part of Metro Police when we came up with training back in the 90s for no longer establishing a perimeter if there's an intruder. First 4 officers, they all have the same training, go. And that's what happened at Covenant. Training still worked well. I need another officer, we got 4, it's still. But once they went in, they still had to listen. Where the shots coming from? Now they would know. Now they would know. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dunn.
Thank you, Mike.
I've got to abstain as well for a direct conflict of interest.
Okay.
Thank you, Mike.
Joe, you got something else?
I was gonna ask you, how many other school boards have you presented this to?
Y'all was the second. I talked to Houston County Schools on Friday.
Why were we not first?
I came by the superintendent's office first, right?
Just, I'm
He
aggravating you.
put me on the agenda.
I'm aggravating you.
All right, okay. Okay, anything else? Thank you, sir. We're gonna go on. We got another discussion that's not on the agenda, but I'm putting it on there. I'd like to, during our next retreat, discussion about a 10% raise for teachers and insurance for our non-certified full-time employees. I know we gave the teachers a raise last year, but they deserve every penny that they're making right now and more. Also, without our non-certified, the system don't run. I know we got teachers, but we also, with the non-certified, as long as they're a full-time employee, we're gonna discuss getting insurance for them.
Agree.
One other discussion, I think, that, Mr. Taylor would like to bring up. You're gonna bring up, put that on there as our discussion also? Okay, Mr. Taylor wants to bring on discussion also during our retreat, and it may be a long day.
So are you asking, and I don't want to overstep it.
Yes, sir.
Do you want me to get numbers together?
Yes, sir, I would like you to have numbers from Miss Norman, get all this together.
We're working on it, Teresa.
Yeah, and get us everything we need, so when we come to that, retreat, we can look, everybody can look at
You said the
actual numbers, what this is actually gonna cost the school system.
and also I talked to her, if you're wanting to remove findings, it'll be different than it will if you put a 5 or 10-year cap. You know,
Right.
we'll show it all to you that day.
Okay, yeah, great,
She's
great.
working on it.
Can I mention something about that?
Yes, sir.
You know, since I've been appointed to this position for the last 3 years, I've been pushing that every one of our employees need insurance. This is something that, we're an employer, we need to treat our employees,
As
the
long as
way
they're
we need to be.
full-time employees.
Full-time
They gotta be a
employees.
full-time
Just
employee.
as any other company.
Right.
Just as
right,
any other, if you're a full-time employee, you deserve insurance, and that's
Yes.
something we need to talk about.
Right, yes. And I definitely want to, I know we're gonna talk about it, but, we're gonna have to do something. I mean, we're gonna have to do something. Now, one other thing that, Mr. Taylor, we're gonna discuss that also during, at the retreat, we'll bring that in, is discussion of, we have one board member that is on the finance committee that is, having to make these meetings, and he's not being compensated for it. I don't think that's right. And, I think we need to discuss that, what to pay him, and, that's just strictly our school board member, that's nobody else. That's just strictly ours. Mr. Smith will not be compensated because he's on salary. Ms. Normal will not be compensated because she's on salary. But he's not. And we want to discuss that at our next,
Well, all the other county commissioners are being paid to be on this board.
Right.
And Mr. Lewis is the only one that's not.
Right.
So
And we
it's only
won't-
fair.
you know, fair is fair, and, you know, they're getting paid through the county. You know, he is our representative along with Mr. Smith, but he needs to be compensated. Mr. Smith, that's just part of his job. Now, any more discussions? I hope you've all had a chance to look at your February policies and reviews. Mr. Winkler, do we need to go into executive session?
No, sir.
Okay. If not, we're gonna have our board retreat, which will be Tuesday, March the 19th, starting at 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Also that day, we will be having our regular school board meeting, starting at 5 o'clock. And then our April meeting will be April the 16th, at regular time on Tuesday. So, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Yes.
So moved.
Second. All in favor? Opposed? Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.